Hello, welcome back to Blueprints and Bankrolls with Jarrod and
Brandon with Steadfast Design Builders.
what's up, Brandon? Hey, today we're going to talk about client confessions, the biggest mistakes homeowners make from the construction side of things and then from the lender side of things or the financing side. So, Brandon, we were talking this morning a little bit about, some things that people do during the transaction or during the home building process or, construction or stuff like that. What are you
Mhm.
seeing that people do, not only that causes more stress, more heartache, and costs more money? What are you seeing that mistakes, or what mistakes are homeowners doing in your world right now?
Yeah, for construction wise, I would say about 50% of homeowners go into, I want to do a remodel or, you know, remodel their bathroom, kitchen, or even maybe a little small addition. And they don't have a set plan. They don't have a budget. Uh, they don't know what it costs. When they call our office, we go through a checklist. Hey, how long you been looking at this? What is your budget? What's your time frame? There's a couple other notes that we ask that are very important to us as the builder. And they're like, yeah, I don't know my budget. So I always try to walk people through like, hey, we could build anybody a box, right? What can I put inside that box, right? If
Right.
you're gonna do a kitchen, I always tell people plan for $80,000 for a medium kitchen, not super high end. That's just what it is here in Northern California, and then it goes all the way up. Small bathrooms, have a ballpark, a bathroom that your kids are in. If you want to low end finishes, you're about 20 grand. A master bath could be as much as 50, 60 grand. But you
What
should have a thought.
what comes up during the process? Let's say I want to do a kitchen, you give me a bid, you start the project, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden X happens and it increases the cost and adds more time. What is that X?
Mhm.
What's the X factor, if you will? See what I did
Yeah,
there?
the
A
X
little X
factor
factor?
is
Nobody?
that's
Okay.
it. That's it. Is
Go for
that
it. Yeah.
okay? So I call them great ideas. Like the client has an epiphany, and they're like they want to change something. Like, hey, this wall layout. I'm like, well, that's change, right? That's a
Right.
change order. We don't like to do change orders, right? That costs the clients more money. Hardly ever do change orders give you money back. They
Any change is more
change,
money, right? At the end of the
yeah,
day. Yeah, it's
yep.
time.
What they'll do is they won't have a clear understanding. Their builder didn't give them a 3D, rendering of their finished product, so they don't know the plug placement. Let's say you already threw drywall. Oh, I really need a hair dryer right here.
An
Well,
outlet. Yeah, a new outlet. Yeah.
nobody talked about that, right? And so then we have to rip open the drywall and move it.
Yeah.
Just the great ideas, and make sure you have a good enough budget and always have at least 5 to 10% over your budget. So if you're doing $100,000 project, you need to have 110,000. You need to have $10,000 in just extra savings, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
We can't see through walls, right?
Yeah. And sometimes, and you've told me these stories before where you open up walls and it's like, oh, now we have another issue that we've got to address, or we got to fix, fix work that some other wanker contractor did, 20 years ago or, or more or less, or,
Mm-hmm.
you're all about making sure that the home at the end of the day is safe. It's done right. I mean, one of your big things with Steadfast, in my experience and knowing you for all these years, is you want to make sure that the job is done so that you don't have to go back and ever fix anything because it was done right, it was done properly, it was done completely transparently, and at the end of the day, the client is literally saying, "Wow, this is exactly what I wanted." So
That's what we strive for.
cool. On the lending side, mistakes that I see are just that people aren't planning, or they say, "Yeah, I want to spend this much money," and then you start a project, and then it's literally double or three times what they wanted to do when they started, and then they wonder why their costs are skyrocketing. I love that word. The costs are skyrocketing. They're more than I thought. Well, yeah, you're making all of these
Yeah.
changes. So knowing what your budget is, trying to stay as close to it as you can, but also preparing. So again, can you do a construction loan? Yes. Can you do an equity line against the house? Absolutely. Can you do a renovation loan? Yes. Depending on which way and how much money you want to spend, that's why you want to speak with a great lender that knows and has all of those options so that you can quickly pivot if things change. How many times out of the last 10 projects that you've done, how many of those projects were changed at the end of the day? Adding, removing, or completely going in a different path? What are you seeing?
Well, adding and removing every single one, right?
Okay.
People start getting into the design phase. The initial conversation always transforms, right? It grows because there's tons of options in construction, right? Well, we can
Yeah.
add this, or we can do this. Oh, that's really cool. I saw this on HGTV. You
Oh God.
know, you know, like
Stay
they
off the
did it.
internet.
They did it for $5,000 in 2 days. They built the whole house. What?
Right.
So,
Is it the wives or the husbands, B?
oh, it's both. It's
Always
both.
both? A little
Yeah,
bit of
yeah,
both. Okay.
a little bit of both. Yeah. Um, but that it helps if we have all we call them stakeholders, right? So our clients, they need to be together in meetings, right? We make them both sign the contract, so that way either one can change things on site. But our biggest thing is he said, she said, right? Um, oh, the wife said this or the husband said this. Oh, well, I don't like that. Well, it's kind of hard, right? It's like,
Well, y'all need to
shoot,
talk and figure it out before I
who do we
keep
listen to,
swinging
right?
hammers, right?
Yeah, and we also let people know, hey, make sure you're talking to the management team when you're adding things or changing things. Don't talk to the field crews, right? Those are great craftsmen, but they don't know the money side of the business or the timelines and the schedules of all of our subcontractors, right? We have 20 to 25 subcontractors on each job. But that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think's the number one? What is the number one issue that you are seeing with with like getting permits? I know we had talked a couple days ago about you had recently had a great you had a great
Experience.
experience. Yeah,
Oh
you had a great
yeah.
experience. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so shout out to the city of Salinas, California.
Lettuce capital of the
Uh
world.
that's right. It's feeding the nation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we landed a small kitchen and laundry model. Um and on I think it was June 2nd, right? And our design team drafted all the plan sets, did the plan, full set of plans for the permits because we're adding gas lines and things of that nature. And we literally had the signed contract signed, developed plan sets, submitted permits, and had our permit approved before 4th of July. I think we had it. I think we were all done in 24 days total from sign a contract. That's outstanding, right?
Calendar or business days?
Calendar, so it's even better,
Yeah,
right?
even
It's
better.
like
Yeah.
calendar days, and that's huge for clients. That's huge for construction companies. That's huge for construction employees, right? It's getting the work, right? Driving up the economy, and it's just awesome. If we can get permits approved by any municipality with minimal corrections in 30 to 40 days, 30 to 45 days, that'd be huge for everyone.
What's a
So just
typical timeline for something like that in general?
probably I always tell people, you know, six 6 to 8 weeks, right? Just depends.
So you cut it in
Just
half.
on a
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut it in half, and that's awesome, right? Especially when clients like, oh, I have to sign this contract. I've already got these beautiful renderings. They love them, right?
Yeah, they want
And
the
then
finished
now
product.
I got to
Yeah.
sit on it for 60 days, but we're gonna go shopping for finishes. But
Right.
um, yeah, so if we can get big builds and homes quicker, that'd be great.
Okay, I agree. All right, cool. Well, that just about does it for this week's edition of Biggest Mistakes Homeowners Make. From the construction side, from the lending side. Again, always trust a mortgage professional that has done this, that's been in the business, that has access to all the different tools. Always trust and speak with a general contractor. Do your homework, vet the contract, look at Google reviews. ask around, get referrals, get great great advice from people where the work's already been done. Call previous clients and say, hey, how'd this guy do? Does he show up? Does this team take care of it? Did he get you the end result that you were looking for? So
Hmm.
that's one of our big things here at the Blueprints and Bankrolls that we want to make sure and push out there is work with true professionals. Don't look for the cheapest way you can. If you're looking at doing a freaking tiny little thing in your backyard, cool. But if you're talking about a bathroom, a kitchen, a remodel, an addition, things like that, you know, you're talking about potential issues that could come up where, now you're talking about getting sued. You're talking about red tags. There's all kinds of issues that come up.
Well,
So don't
well, yeah.
cut corners.
I'm
Don't
gonna
cut corners. Go ahead.
I'm gonna add something to that little
Yeah,
tiny thing in the
go for
backyard
it.
thing. I just had a call uh, last week in regards to a little patio cover that's existing, and the guy wanted to do it, very cost effectively. And I go, look it. Here's the deal. You need a licensed contractor. You're gonna install this patio cover against your house. The flashing detail in your wall needs to be correct. Needs to be permitted. It's attached to your house,
Mhm.
right? So, like, even those small jobs, like water intrusion and dry rot, are a big deal down the road. So you could save, three to 5,000 on a patio cover maybe, but the long term, it could be tens of thousands of water damage inside your house.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Okay.
don't walk over a nickel. You know,
Yeah, do it right the first time. Don't have to worry about coming back. So cool. Well, I
all right, guys.
appreciate
Well, I
you.
appreciate you.
Yeah, Brandon, we'll see you next week. Appreciate your time.
All right, dude.
Thanks all.